I should start the intro right now.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody, boys and girls of all ages. It's a generalized welcome. Anybody can listen. No pets. If you have a pet listening to this podcast right now, look, first of all, I'm not mad at you, I'm just mad at the situation. But I do have to ask that you demand your pet leave the room. Right now. Scripture tells us that we have dominion over the beasts of the field. And you might be asking yourself, well, Jay, I mean, it's not really the same thing. I don't have an ox in my house, it's just a dog or a cat. Well, first of all, figure out which one it is, because it's weird that you're not entirely sure. And two, you know what I meant. Look, I'm sorry I yelled at you. Okay? I don't want anybody to be mad. I want to be liked just as much as anybody else. And that's really what I think this podcast is about. It's called the Spectator Cast. With your host, JJJ. We have some other people here, too. You've got, oh, look at this guy. This guy over here, ZeroEffect. You here?
Yep.
Here's WindofMitsu. Nobody cares about that guy. You've got McGee.
What?
McGee's in here as well. And we're here to talk about... Well, let's be honest. We're here to talk about the fact that I want to be liked. Are we finally done with this whole Soul Calibur charade? I think we're finally finished. We can finally talk about what's really important. What everybody thinks about me. And what I think about everybody else.
I think we already know
What do you think about everybody else?
Starting with who?
Everybody else. I'm sure we can wrap it up nicely.
The answer is yes.
Okay. There you have it, folks. WinterBrawl 10 champion JJJ. Boo. Not once. I don't think he once mentioned the name of the cast, but that's okay.
Yes, I did. I totally did.
So what do you think of Dark Party Wolf? Let's start with that.
I think he disagrees with me about stupid stuff. He's also stupid, so he's consistent. And I appreciate that about him.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to talk about WinterBrawl?
No.
Sure.
Well, we're going to talk about it anyway.
Alright.
Where do you want to start? What do you want to talk about?
I guess we can talk about pools.
The pools.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Because, I don't... How many... Do you even know how many people entered? I think it was like...
I believe it was 40.
30? 40? Okay.
I believe we have...
Well, this time they did something different where they only had 2 pools instead of the usual 4. Usually it's between 4 and 8, but this time we had 2. And I knew something was wrong at first when pretty much everyone I had talked to was in the exact same pool.
Yeah.
And it was just like the entirety of Philly and the entirety of, who else was in there? It was like Ninja Guy.
Anybody who was at WinterBrawl that was not Sandman was in one pool. Sandman was in one pool, and then everybody else was in the other one.
Pretty much, if you knew their name in any capacity, it was in one pool, and then the others was everybody else except Sandman.
So there was the pool, and then there was the, as I like to call it, the IRM pool.
Yes.
I forgot about that. The IRM pool.
Zach, do you know why that is?
I'm assuming because. Well,
I actually know.
With the oh, you do?
Yeah, because I talked to Allie on finals day.
Was it because of the people who pre-registered?
No, Avalon. For the first time, Avalon had no control over the pools whatsoever.
Oh well, what the hell?
That was the reason. Yeah, you know the tournament director Min.
Yeah,
he's the guy. Yeah, he was in control of all the pools, and so he didn't really seem to. For one, obviously, he doesn't know Soul Calibur names and people, But the thing that really bothers me is that it was very obvious. Like, you know, you have people like Sporko and me who have Philly next to their name, and he's just like putting them in the same pool. I think it should have been obvious that we should have been, you know. I don't really care who's in my pool, but it shouldn't be somebody that I practice with all the time.
Right, yeah. Okay, Link says he was in Sandman's pool. Okay, well, I forgot he was in that pool.
So as I said, absolutely nobody was in Sandman's pool. It was just Sandman, and then everybody else.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, so, you know, that was that. Who made it? Who was in? It was you, Scion, and Xavier, and who was fourth?
Sandman?
Fourth was Link, right?
Ninja guy.
Oh, we're talking about
Ninja
specifically in the pool, yeah.
Yeah, in from the pool. Yeah, Scion. I'll say this: Scion. That was his best placing I think he's ever had.
Yeah, his best tournament performance to date.
So he's never going to watch this, but you know, shout outs to him.
He isn't. He doesn't like this kind of thing.
Well, I mean, he doesn't. He's like never on social media at all.
He doesn't own a computer or something.
Oh, I don't know, but but yeah, he got third, got into the money, pretty much. Which, by the way, did any of you get money yet, or no?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because for some reason there was a big issue with the money this time around. Like they didn't have it ready, so they were either sending it to people's PayPals or like something. But
yeah, Biggie had mentioned me in a Facebook post telling me that I should get to him. He asked me for my PayPal information, and we're all square.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, because I know E was asking on Facebook for Scion and Sandman's accounts. I don't think Scion's really on his Facebook much. I know he has one, but I have to probably like give him a call or some shit. Cause
yeah,
that would suck if he just doesn't get anything.
Yeah, I mean third place. He's getting like $50 or something, right?
Well, I don't know. It was all a pot bonus, so I have no idea how much the actual payouts were.
I believe it is $50 that he's getting.
Okay. How much did you get? Or
I got
supposed to get?
I got $350.
Okay, so all right.
So that works out to 70, 20, 10. So 350.
So
100.
yeah, it's probably like a $500. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. All right, cool. But yeah, Scion definitely stepping it up this time around. I especially liked his match against Link. I thought that was
Link sucked.
but the match was good.
But just like how Scion was handling the situations, for some reason I thought Link was going to beat him, and but he was just every DNSB was on point, like all the just frames, everything. It was just it looked pretty bad. If you squint really, really hard, it looked like a partisan match. But and then the last part at the end was just that fucking sucked. Okay, so for those who didn't see it, basically Scion went to punish something with Omega CE, and he was off. He was like way off with the timing, but it didn't matter because it broke Link's gauge anyway.
Yeah.
And then he gets a stab for the win. That was just Link was fucked, but I mean,
Get fucked.
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's what's going to happen when
the
you're playing
matchup-
Siegfried against Omega.
Yeah, I know the matchup's pretty bad, but like that was just you can't call that one at all. But, yeah, but good shit to him. Link, I think placed fourth, right? Fourth or fifth?
Yeah, fourth.
Fourth, right? Because he beat Boom. Right. Okay.
I wanted Boom to win.
Yeah, I think a lot of people wanted Boom to win.
I didn't
Or-
want Boom to win.
I wanted
Why? Why not?
Oh, I thought you meant the tournament in general.
Oh, I don't know. Were you saying you wanted Boom to win the entire thing?
Out of everybody that was involved in the tournament, I wasn't specifically rooting for Boom to win the tournament.
Wow.
I was rooting for other people.
Like yourself?
I'd rather not name any names.
Yourself.
Because Boom and Link's match was actually pretty good too, if only for the fact that his friend kept coming over, and like every time his friend came over and just started yelling and cheering for Boom, Boom just started to win. Like he would just be getting his ass kicked, and then this dude would come over, and was like, "Let's go, Boom!
For the people who know Marvel, this dude that Zach is talking about is Unknown. The Marvel
is that
player.
who that was?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know Boom was cool with Unknown.
Well, they're from the same area, so.
All right.
That is why.
Who was winning with AA and MK?
Oh yeah.
I'm so.
But yeah, that was the first time and only time that I can tell that I've been entertained by Unknown. Then I didn't even know that was him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was him.
Oh man. Yeah, if he picked Pyrrha from the start, he probably would have won. But he also probably would have won with, as it was. But he just, I don't remember. How did that match even end? I don't remember. But it was pretty close, regardless. And there was one round. There was one round in there where Boom won with. He hit him with 1K, and I'm like, all right, Link's not going to duck, so he's just going to get 1K'd to death. And Boom had enough, like, he wasn't one hit away from death, but he had enough life to where if Link hit him with, like, a counter hit 3B or Rising B or something like that, he would have killed. And I'm sitting there with Scion, and I'm like, okay, if I'm Boom, I would be looking exclusively for 3B at this point. And Boom gave no fucks at all and just mashed that AA in his face.
Yeah.
I was just like, get the fuck out of here, man. This guy could have died. But, it was pretty good shit there. What else was out? What other matches was it that stood out?
Link versus Salmon and Pools is pretty good. If Link could AGA, he probably would have won.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bibulus and I talked to Link about... Well, it was mostly Bibulus. He was talking to Link about it before, where I think he would have done better... Link would have done better had he had a little bit more stage awareness. There were times where he was specifically moving where combos ending in AGA wouldn't ring Viola out, as opposed to if he had just stepped the other direction, it would have, He really got kind of screwed on stage selection. It was kind of the exact opposite of what happened.
He got the A out stage twice, and then he went to the wrap, right?
And then the wrap, yeah. But I really feel like there was a handful of people who really were not very familiar with the Siegfried matchup. I'm not trying to discredit Link's placing in the tournament. He's a very good player, but at the same time, I was surprised at what Siegfried was able to get away with in the top 8.
Yeah.
Well, specifically what, though?
Just like they were playing, like a lot of people just weren't really punishing stuff, especially Boom in general. He was just guarding stuff that doesn't actually get you anything. He wasn't, what's the stance? What's the name of the stance that Siegfried had, where it's like the sword is to the side and he has the low or the mid mix up?
Reverse. That's reverse.
But you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's like the B, if you block the hilt of the sword, you get a launch or punish. You get whatever you want.
Actually.
And he's punishing with AA at the most. It was kind of disappointing.
That's probably one thing I saw. Boom actually didn't burn any of his meter, and in the case you just explained, he could have CE punished and gotten a nice 100 damage plus. So it's I don't know. He could have found ways to burn his meter more, I guess. And even if just wasting him though, he was just holding out a meter. Just find a way to burn it off, dude. Otherwise, you're kind of just letting it sit there for show.
Burn meter for what?
I don't know, man. Because if you're just sitting on meter, it just feels like it's a wasted tool that you're at.
Oh, are you talking about Pyrrha?
No, I'm talking about his Yoshi.
Oh, okay. I was about to say Pyrrha was CE punishing everything. I don't remember.
He started utilizing it there. Just he never ever used meter with his Yoshi. Yoshi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that.
Did he switch after 2 games lost, or did he switch after 1 game loss?
2, I believe.
Okay, then yeah, like I guess at that point, but yeah, he was working really well as Pyra. That was the last match, last round. So I mean, he just got dicked at the end, where like he immediately Link knew to step and rung him out.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's what it was. I was like, I know he did something that was just like, oh my god. Yeah, that he used a vertical near the edge. That's what it was.
Yeah. Oh, boom. I wish you had won.
That was a good match, though.
I didn't like it.
Who was the other? There was another Siegfried.
Oh, you mean Jinx?
Top 8. Jinx, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
He's a little inexperienced.
Just a little bit.
A little.
Yeah.
I mean, he made top 8, so, you know, couldn't have been doing that bad.
Well.
Hashtag WinterBrawl, not a real major.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
He got top 8 at TFC, too.
We don't need to...
Well,
which one?
Last one.
the last one.
Oh, okay.
That one was not a major as well.
Nope.
I don't know why you make that crying sound every time. You lost all 3 TFCs wins, so it's like that doesn't help me. That doesn't help me figure out what.
Well.
But I mean, like, you know, you got to be more specific. The crying sound doesn't help.
I'm more strict, dude, when it comes to TFC.
I know. That's my point exactly. Yeah, top 8. Who beat him in top 8? Was it Ninja Guy?
I'm not sure if Ninja Guy won any matches in top 8, did he?
No. He immediately lost the Link, I think.
Oh, it must have been Scion then.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because he used Hilda.
Performance of this tournament, he seemed kind of down.
Well, he was just down because he didn't beat you.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Is that how you?
I mean, that's really all he. No, that's really the only reason he was like, yeah, I want to beat Jay, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think he's gotten a little bit too nervous playing against me at this point.
Yeah. I mean, he beat me, though, so, you know, good shit to him.
Okay.
Nice.
Anything else about the Soul Calibur tournament?
Well, I mean, Jay started off with the pools thing, but I guess it's something we never really talked about before on here, is just how each person here feels about, like, how pools are set up, seating, things of that nature.
Pools are great, man. 10 out of 10.
Right, but like, are you cool? Like, are you a big person that's for seating or against it, or don't care either way?
I think you should definitely separate people based on like region and like, so you're not playing people who you play against on a regular basis first round.
Right.
I think the seeding based on like how well they've done previously is kind of hard, especially when there's not like a universal ranking system. Like, you know,
Universal ranking system.
there was one for 8-way run, but we don't have enough tournaments for that to be accurate, and the points are also kind of stupid. Like,
Oh yeah, they've always been heavily weighted towards East Coast stuff.
Is that because these are East Coast tournaments that are?
Oh, I always imagined it was because Jaxel was from the East Coast. And
Oh, well,
they always
okay.
did that sort of thing.
yeah, like I think
guess that makes sense.
Jaxel Dome had more points worth than like a West Coast
Evo.
major.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Jackson Dome, best dome.
I mean, the Jaxel Dome used to be a pretty important thing, but that hasn't been the case in quite some time.
Well, it hasn't been a thing in quite some time either.
Yeah. But I mean, like, back in, like, Soul Calibur 4.
I mean, even Soul Calibur 5 in the beginning, it was...
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
But, then he had issues with people coming over at all, so... Alright, Link says higher level players should be seated separately.
Like,
Do we agree?
I think it's better, like, because you don't want to have, you know...
Better for who?
I think it's better for everyone, really. Like, as far as you... Like, as if you're a top player, you don't want to have to play the other potential top 8 placers, like, in your pool, right? And
the problem is that what constitutes a higher level player? Certain people who are excluded from that will start arguing that sort of thing, and then you just have like a lot of issues with who's a top player and who isn't, and it's not going to be that big of a deal for right now, because it's a small game and it's a small community at the moment, for our game specifically, but the second you start putting seeding in terms of like how good players are, then you're establishing some sort of separation between different people, and so you're going to have a lot of arguments.
Yeah. Party Wolf brings up a point. He's basically just looking at placings only and not like who you believe is good or who you'd bet on. Just looking at the hard facts of who placed where. But then you have to bring up, but then that brings up the joke that Jay made earlier about in before not a major. What a top 8 at WinterBrawl versus a top 8 at Final Round versus a top 8 at East Coast Throwdown. It's like.
Well, not just that. But you could also have somebody like, we'll have like a tournament where people have placings and stuff, and then out of nowhere, somebody like Omega DR will show up. He doesn't have any tournament placings in a billion years, so technically he's not seeded, right? But at the same time, the people who are in the know that it's Omega DR, and even though he hasn't been around at all, he probably he's one of the favorites to win any tournament that he would show up to. And again, you just have more. Anytime you put any sort of ambiguity into it, you're going to have arguments. I'm not saying that necessarily means that you have to stop, but just saying that you're going to have those arguments if you want to do that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, that's why I brought it up just to see what people's opinions are. Obviously, you can't seed everybody, and some people are going to have bruised egos if they fall through the cracks somewhere.
But at the same time, the concept of a tournament is for everybody but one person to have a bruised ego by the end of the day, so maybe it doesn't matter.
Well, that's true, too, and that's why I personally don't care about seeding. I understand, like, as for a spectator, for the people who are watching, it makes a lot of sense because generally you want to see the best players in the top 8, top 16, and what have you. Me as a player, I could care less who's in it if I'm not. So for me, it's like, it's on me to win regardless of how stacked or how weak my pool is. But I understand from the tournament organizers and from the spectators' standpoint that it would be more important.
I think that was always Great One's argument, was that he was approaching it from the spectator point of view.
Right, well, yeah. I mean, he really didn't play, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when Cross and Allie were trying to set up the pools for, I think it was WinterBrawl last year, where there was a bunch of people who were trying to get in late, and so they didn't know where to put them, and it was like, well, are we going to overstack this pool or make this pool too strong or too weak? And it was just like, at this point, just put them wherever you got to put them, because, maybe if they're that good, they'll meet up again in top 8 anyway. Like, even if ones and losers.
Yeah.
So, but...
Oh my god.
What?
The Alex Valle face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Thanks, McGee.
Are you making these pictures as we do this, or are you finding them?
No, these are ones I found throughout the week.
Oh, okay.
This is what McGee lives for every week. He scours the internet for pictures like, oh man, I can't wait to show the viewers this.
If any of you have ever listened back to any of these, the screen changes so many times. It's crazy.
Oh, is that right?
It's having a field day.
He's having a time of a field day.
Sometimes it stays the same. Sometimes.
No, it doesn't. You'll have like eyeballs and tacos floating around and be like, where is it?
Hey, man.
Twitchy votes. So.
Yeah, But I mean, I will say that as far as the pool things go, this is one of the only times where I can honestly say, man, this was kind of messed up, like just how they organized it. But again, you know, since it is on me to win, I can't really blame pools for not making top 8. But it did feel.
Even so, it's just you want somebody who kind of knows what they're doing and kind of is part of the community and cares about the community to do that sort of thing.
Well, I didn't know that until you just said it on this podcast. I thought it was just Avalon doing whatever.
Nope.
So,
Avalon was not
if that's
involved.
the case, then yeah, all right, that's a bit more of an argument.
Suddenly everything makes sense.
Suddenly.
Yeah. So that was that. Was there? Oh, I also want to shout out Sakura Kitsune, if for no other reason than showing up to his first tournament. That is not something that you see a lot. I mean, especially if people have the wrong impression of the community online, or get into a lot of arguments over Facebook, whatever.
Her or no.
Not. See, yeah. Well, let's not. I'm just gonna say he.
All right, yeah. But how was their company?
I haven't played him in nearly 2 years, so my opinion of him might be a little bit skewed. But I think he's improved a lot since the last time I played him.
All right.
Given the fact that the last time I played him, he was a Natsu main and he doesn't really play her anymore, that might say a lot. But he was playing Leixia a little bit in casuals. His Leishia's not bad. I mean, obviously, you know, he needs work fundamentally, but he was not nearly as bad as I thought he would be based on the comments on Facebook and things like that. So, but mainly just shouting him out because, you know, he made the trip out here. It wasn't like it was across the street either. He's coming from Ohio, so you know, that kind of dedication, I feel like, deserves some kind of recognition.
Yeah, he seemed pretty excited too. He was excited to meet everybody, and he talked about potentially going to final round and all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. He has like this is kind of like how I felt like when I first started in Soul Calibur 4, where it's like, oh, there's people who gather to play this game. I want to be at every one of these if I can, and he's like got that now, which again, given his reputation from just being an online guy, it's good to see him meet the community in person and see that it's not all shit. So, kind of like Sultan. You know, Sultan was around for a while, but by NEC was his first offline event, and you know, now he's like, well, yeah, I got to keep coming to these if I can. So
it's what happens to everybody. The only people I find that say that online and offline doesn't make a difference, the only people I've ever heard say that are people who have not gone to offline things. I've never heard somebody who has actually been part of the tournament experience say there's no difference and everybody is awful. Nobody says that once they've actually met people in person and have enjoyed that type of experience.
Right. I don't see too many people that say that now, to be honest, but yeah, if anyone's saying that, that's a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Was there anybody else that was new? I don't think so. I think he was
Really no.
Yeah.
That was basically the same guys.
Same crew.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Sandman got top 8 in Smash.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He got 5th. Yeah. 5th.
And he won Windjammers.
Oh, well, I mean, Windjammers, that's...
Dude, he got like a whole bunch of money for that. He got probably like more than I did.
Really?
Yeah.
How many people entered
How many
Windjammers?
people?
I don't know, but I think the pop for Windjammers, there was like a pop bonus of like $5,000 or something.
What?
Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, language. Can't be saying that stuff in front of the kids.
There are children here.
There are children everywhere.
Yeah, like Link.
Like Link.
Wow.
Yeah, Link's a kid. 12-year-old.
Oh, wow. All right, I didn't know Cameras was paying that kind of money.
He did get some money. I can't remember how much it was, but it was enough for me to say like, oh wow, that's surprising. And apparently there's actually somebody there who like can actually potentially beat him. So there's that too.
No.
Yeah. Well, alright, so he got 5th in Smash and 2nd in Soul Calibur. Pretty good day to be Sandman, I guess.
Yeah, this is his first time beating me in a set as well.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah, that was a really close match, too. I thought, there was actually a point where I thought he might beat you. And
Yeah,
was like,
I needed to calm down a little bit. There were a few things that were really bothering me, and they ended up getting to me. And the problem is that when certain things are getting to me in a match, I can tend to get a little bit of tunnel vision, where I'm just trying to do mix-ups. And against Sandman, I find that the more that I play against Sandman in a particular day, the more he's just able to guess correctly on certain things. So once I was able to... There were just certain setups where I know that he's going to tech up and start sidestepping. And for Mitsurugi, because he doesn't really have like the strongest horizontals in the world, the way I go with it is, well, he has pretty good tracking vertical, so if I think he's going to sidestep to this side, then 1B will hit him. If he's going to sidestep to the other side, then 6-6B is going to hit him. But he was stepping 6-6B sword side, and it was still working. And instead of me, even though I knew the correct side he was going to sidestep off of like a tech up B grab type of thing, instead of me hitting him with a launcher, he was hitting me with 4-4A. So it's a pretty big swing, you know, and it was frustrating me. But eventually I was able to just go back into 2A, 6A, 1K type stuff.
When he started waking up with 4-4A, I was like, what is happening here? Like, what is the read?
Well, also I wasn't... Yeah, also I wasn't spacing very, very well. I wasn't spacing 4-4A very well. I'm just going to chalk that up to I was out of practice.
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe you can say that, but he was catching everybody with that. Like, people were just running into his 4-4As, like, just...
Oh, yeah, I can only talk about how I was dealing with it.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, I was seeing that with everybody, so when he did it to you, it's like, alright, well, I guess he's legit reading something, because this is not just something that he was using on, like, the weaker players.
Yeah, it's not like it's an unsafe move or something.
Well, no, but it was just like the fact that he was timing it so that you would run into it, as opposed to doing it at a range where it would hit regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty close match. You sort of, what was it, 3-1 in the reset?
Yes. Yes,
yeah.
I believe
So, I mean, like the last couple of games, you kind of just seemed like you were dealing better with post-knockdown situations in the last couple of games.
Yeah, instead of... Because I was so off on my, like, meaty attacks, I just ended up in the last few games when I knew he was going to either tech up sidestep into 4-4A or tech up with a button, I just wasn't going to go around there at all. I was going to bait it out, and instead of, like, trying to beat it out with a move, which is what I would normally do, I'll just go over there, wait for him to whiff whatever it is, and then go in and start doing stuff again. Because Sandman is odd in the sense that, like, he's very mashy in certain situations, but then he doesn't mash at all in other situations, and it doesn't really change. So just as long as you make sure to block the wake-up buttons the first time, chances are he's not going to do it a second time.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
I tend to find that he'll either hit something or move.
Yeah.
Like, that seems to be one of the two things. But then again, I don't have the same exact Oki situations that you do.
Yeah.
So it's maybe it's a little bit different in that sense, but
it's not just that, it's also the fact that, like, once the mashing doesn't work, even though we both know I'm about to dash in and I'm going to do exactly what I was going to do the first time around, he doesn't mash again. Technically speaking, he could, like, wake up 2A, sees that it's whiffing, and then see that I'm dashing in and just do 2A again. But he just doesn't do that. He also doesn't do a lot of mashing off of, like, 6-6B on block. He doesn't challenge me on that type of thing, even though I'm just going up and I'm doing one of my slow mix-up types of things to read his timing. Somebody like LP will just mash all day, and it'll be much more frustrating for me to deal with. But he'll actually respect and try to just guess, like, statue block a mix-up of mine eventually. And I would say that that's the biggest difference between people who beat me and people who don't, is that the people who don't beat me are normally giving me much more respect than the people who do.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, well, well, no, you went through all the way through Winter, so never mind. Yeah, all right. Forget that. I wish that my match with Ninja Guy was seen by somebody, because it seemed like everybody was like off doing their own thing when we were playing. I'm like, oh man, I wanted to know what I could have done different or whatever. But I must have watched that match back like at least 20 times.
Oh, so it was recorded?
It was on stream, so I had to find it on the Twitch archive. But I don't.
Well, Beaver
have the
Techie
timestamp.
normally has those videos up on YouTube eventually, so I could take a look at it.
Yeah, but it just seemed like, I don't know, like there was only certain points where I can honestly say, okay, I should have done something here. But outside of that, it was just like, I just guessed wrong on certain things, and it was a lot of damage. But
yeah,
but I don't know, maybe a fresh pair of eyes can see different.
Viola sucks.
Yeah, nobody likes Viola.
Fucking hate
some
it.
people do.
Nobody likes Viola.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Ninja Guy doesn't like Viola.
Nope.
Ninja
Nobody likes
Guy's all
Amy.
about.
He's all about Amy.
That doesn't. You can like more than one thing. You don't have to like just one person.
He would drop Viola in a heartbeat if Amy came back.
Well, everybody would. Amy's the best.
No,
Amy
she's
sucks too.
Amy is the best, and you're just
She
jealous
sucks.
that you didn't play Amy in Soul Calibur.
No, I didn't play Amy in Soul Calibur
Hey,
before.
real quick, are any of you
You would-
guys going to the final round?
No, I am not.
Okay.
Nope.
I cannot say for sure either way.
All right. Rest in peace.
Oh, okay,
And
Party
I'm
Wolf.
sure they'll have the tournament, and people will be excited, and it'll be great.
Quick look.
We'll all watch.
Yeah.
All around hype.
But alright, so, I mean, I guess this pretty much covers Soul Calibur. So, I would say the biggest thing that happened, other than the fact that this was Street Fighter V's first real major, or at least on the East Coast, the whole Filipino champ and Kane Blue River thing, wow. I just don't know if I say that, because what a way to wrap that up. We were going to talk about this several months back when F-Champ made that video talking about how, well, actually, it started with Kane Blue River saying that he had nothing further to prove in Marvel after winning EVO, and F-Champ apparently took offense to that and was like, no, you don't get to say that. The only people that get to really say that are me and Justin and Chris G. He might have named a couple other names, but I don't remember. But
That kind of stuff is stupid, because he was shit-talking Clean Blue River like the second that he won, like before KBR got to say anything. F-Champ was, it's not real. It just seems all fake to me.
what's not real? You don't think he was actually like?
I don't think
beefing
he
with him?
actually cares all that much. I think he's just trying to like when I saw the match, when he did the money match against him, he had a whole bunch of attitude for KBR, and then when they
Right.
played in the grand finals in the actual tournament, it was all washed away, and he gave him like the utmost respect.
Yeah.
And I just can't. I mean, we're talking about a difference of like 12 hours. It just seems so very inauthentic.
It wasn't even a my match. It was just a.
It was just a match in general.
Just an exhibition?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a money match. All right. Well,
No,
all right.
Like Big E flew Kane out there just for that exhibition. And
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know F-Champ like on a personal level, so I don't know if he's really just trying to, draw hype versus, actually disliking the guy or not respecting the guy's play. And it could also be a thing where he realized, okay, I just got my ass beat. How do I... Maybe that was the only way he could salvage some of it. I don't know.
I mean, what are you going to do after someone beats you in tournament after you...
Well,
like,
you pull a PL.
You can only make it worse. There's no, like...
That's pulling a PL.
But see, yeah, Party was that F-Champ is really into his own hype. That's what I'm thinking it was. Like, just he just needs that draw. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Marvel's the only game he's done that in. I don't remember him doing anything like that in Street Fighter, but...
he said on a number of occasions that Daigo was terrible.
Yeah, but I mean, like, to the point where it was like this.
Well, Daigo did lose to Lupe.
That is true.
But yeah, so they had the exhibition the night before. What was it, a 1st to 15, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It was 10-15.
So,
but he gave
technically...
3 of those games.
Right, yeah. He, so, apparently he decided to pause the game on purpose, 3 times, I think?
3 times.
Yeah.
And since, obviously, with Marvel being one-round game, gave Kane Blue River 3 games added to his score, just intentionally forfeiting matches. And he still won by, 5 games. Just a humiliation type of gesture. I don't even think the crowd... I mean, I wasn't there for it live, but I don't even think the crowd was that into it at that point, just because it was so one-sided. It was there was really no hope for KVR to come back. But then to see him actually pull it back in losers was all right, well, as Yipe said, justice.
Yipe sold it
story.
so well.
Yeah.
I think he might be the only person who can have such blatantly biased commentary. People are perfectly fine with it.
Yeah. Oh, man. That guy, man. But, yeah, it was, I haven't actually sat down to watch a Marvel Top 8/Exhibition or anything in some time. But seeing what was, actually it was Apple Boom that came up and was like, oh yeah, they had the Marvel exhibition the night before with Kane Blue River and F-Champ. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. They were talking shit before, months ago. I didn't even think anything came of that. So, it's good to see that they finally wrapped that shit up.
It wasn't even just about them. It seems like a large majority of the Marvel community has a problem with Kane Blue River.
They have a problem.
I thought it was the opposite.
No,
because they seemed to like him when he won.
Yeah, well, I mean, they obviously don't like Champ either for obvious reasons, but there are some people who really don't like the fact that, I wasn't aware of this, but apparently Kane Blue River takes advantage of a lot of people in the community. He has traveled all over the world and has gotten people to pay for everything.
Oh, financially, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and he never pays anybody back and all that kind of stuff. Which does seem, if that's true, that does seem kind of grimy.
Yeah, well, okay. I didn't realize he was, that kind of guy, but...
I mean, I think a lot of it, though, was people were mad Kane won Evo, and when F-Champ started getting mad at him, they decided that was, the gateway to be able to fire shots without getting in trouble.
Right.
For sure, yeah. I still believe it's all fake and just theatrical. Yeah, but,
But I mean, knowing that now, though, I'm surprised that more people weren't on F-Champ's side. Especially after he had beaten him so convincingly in the exhibition.
Just goes to show how much of a dickhead he is.
But damn, I mean, usually people will do that until they have a common enemy. So it's we all hate Kane Blue River. This guy's from the United States, and we all hate this Chilean guy who's doing what he's doing, being grimy. So for this one night, we'll side with F-Champ, even though we don't like him either. You would think that that's how it would go, but that was definitely not the case.
Nope. West Coast is more evil than Chile.
Yeah, right?
I think part of it was just how unresponsive Kane was to F-Champ during that exhibition.
Oh, that's possible.
F-Champ was yelling at him the entire time, he was touching him, and KBR just had that stoic face the entire time.
Yeah.
And even after he won Grand Finals, he didn't. He just got up. Like that.
He didn't want the mic, yeah, but they gave him the mic in the end, but he was like, yeah, I don't even want to talk. Or they were like, no, you got to say something. He's just like, oh, I just want to be a good player, and all the the stereotypical post-match speech. But
just goes to show what I've always said. It's the second you start hyping yourself up after a win, I don't know, you just seem kind of like a dickhead to me. I think the classy way to go is to just take wins and losses the same way. And put it back for later.
Yeah. I think the exhibition was kind of boring. Like, there wasn't any kind of...
Well, it's Marvel.
Like, did you guys watch the Marvel 2 exhibition they had?
Yeah, I did.
Like the Executioner and Fanatics seemed like they were actually, like, involved in that. Like, they actually wanted to win. Like...
There was a much larger history, of course.
Yeah.
Like, that Power Rangers background music, though.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I didn't even know you could change the background music in Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
It was one of the first customizations for the Dreamcast.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, I never knew.
Okay, VGC asked us, he wanted us to talk about, I guess we kind of agree that there might have been some fake hype going to get some attention from Marvel, but do you think it's fine if they adopt these kind of, like, pro wrestling strats to get attention?
So I think it's fine? Like, how do you mean fine?
Like, they should do it? Or is it wrong?
They can do whatever they want. I'm still going to review it as fake and not interesting.
Just whoever wants to do.
Are we talking about, like, just players doing it amongst themselves, or you mean, like, communities, like, trying to, like, actively push for that kind of thing?
I guess players doing it among themselves?
Well, yeah, alright, I mean, I guess people are going to do it anyway. Like, it's been going on for a while. This is just one of the ones that happened recently. But they're usually really bad at it. And it's just, it makes it look really awful. But, I'll give F-Champ, that much credit at least. Like, you can at least believe to some... I mean, obviously, if you know the guy, it's different, but I would believe him way before I believe some of the other guys who try to do that, like Ray, or like Unknown, or like some of those guys. But
the fact of the matter is, if a game is not interesting, then it's not going to be interesting. Whether there's a whole bunch of hype behind it or not, what interests me and what I would like to think has interest everybody who got into fighting games is the fighting game. And so, something can be as hyped up as... I think the best example is, you remember that trash bag match with Eli and WindofMitsu?
Yeah.
Do you remember how before that there was a tournament match between Partisan and Reptile, who are two of the nicest guys in the community? I would have much rather had seen that small set 5 times over than watch the WindofMitsu versus Eli money match, despite the fact that that was the one that was hyped up.
I'm going to disagree just for the sake of Marvel. I can honestly say that I have not really watched any Marvel tournaments where it's because I'm that invested in the game. It's just, for some reason, the hype, either from the commentary or from the history or from the, whatever, is really what I watch it for, just to see who wins. I don't really care about the mind games. I don't really care, because it's Marvel. Like, it's not something I'm that invested in. Soul Calibur might be a little bit different because, I play it. But yeah, like, Marvel is definitely a game where I would watch it much more frequently if stuff like that was happening.
Well, that sounds stupid, and you're stupid.
Yeah.
All right. Wind, what about you? Oh, did he leave?
I'm still here.
Oh.
Like, slowly getting very sleepy, so. Oh, no.
Were that boring to you?
Yeah.
You heard Marvel and you fell asleep. Like,
All I know is that F-Champ is a dick. KBR won, and I don't understand why people cheered for him, because when you said that at this one night everyone would cheer for him because United States versus Chile.
Yeah.
He's still the good guy.
Who's still the good guy?
I don't know, KBR.
They didn't really cheer for F-Champ at all.
It's kind of like the Koreans in Tekken. Like
What?
everyone, even though they're from a different country, everyone's like, man, I love the Koreans. They're so good at Tekken.
And this was the time that everybody found out WindofMitsu has no concept of geography. He actually thinks Chile and Korea are the same place.
Same concept, not the same place, asshole.
Same concept. What?
Everyone likes it. Everyone likes it. Even if they're
The
from,
hyper defensiveness of somebody who doesn't understand geography.
wow, fuck you. I would probably beat you in like a GOB.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait.
GOB sucks.
When you would beat me in a what?
I beat you in like a GOB or something about geography.
Okay.
I wish
Alright,
I would have beat JJJ.
Where's Chad at?
Where's Chad at?
Yeah.
I don't know. Fuck Chad.
Jay, do you know where Chad is at?
That is like the most obscure
Where
fucking
it's at?
country.
Yeah, what continent is it on?
Oh, Africa.
Okay.
Ew.
Jay wins.
Ah.
Fuck this.
Wait, in
Alright.
all seriousness, you do know that I have a degree in geography, though, right?
Talk about a waste of time.
Alright, well, I'm not going to argue that, but it is something that I have.
I mean, you're getting a degree of well saving, so I don't know that.
You're getting a degree in whale saving?
They keep saying marine biology when it's marine science. I haven't picked a slang to concentrate on. So
Here's my latest research paper on whale saving. It's not working.
hey,
Yeah. But, like, as far as the WWE thing goes, like, I think that it's probably worse when you add the entrances. Like they did at the CEO.
Yeah.
Well, I do think that's kind of funny. The one that had K-Brad with the Stone Cold Steve Austin entrance, that was just very nostalgic.
And the Undertaker and for Dominion.
Oh, that was pretty great. That was more just the fact that Dominion was really black.
I thought it was funny because Bonchan looked like he had no idea what was going on. Like,
No, he didn't.
it's like, why did they turn the lights off?
This is something that I don't think like a lot of people talk about, but I really feel like when Street Fighter 4 first came out and all the time before that, Japanese players would show up and they would win, but they were Daigo was very stoic and had no emotion, and that just used to be their thing. But now with the start of people like Punko and Infiltration and just these people who are like from those types of countries, instead of being stoic, they're probably some of the most animated players around. And I just feel like the community worldwide is getting a lot closer in terms of like personality. Like we don't really necessarily feel we still want to beat each other, but it's not like we need to uphold this region, whether it's East Coast versus West Coast or America versus Japan versus Korea versus Singapore. You know, everybody is still having a good time. I don't feel like it didn't really feel that way before. I feel like there was a much bigger separation.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could kind of say that for the U.S. regions as well, like before the internet and things like that. But
yeah. Well, now we're just talking. Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is globalization in general.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't mind the WWE-esque theatrics. It's just if you're not good at it, then don't. That's really only thing I have to say about that.
Okay.
man, everyone's dead.
So, I'm going to talk about upcoming events. I'm not really going to talk about Final Round because we already know that's coming, and I've said it like on the last 3 casts.
My friend Klob is going. He's gonna win it,
Sure he is.
dude. I
Who
believe
does he play?
he plays Astaroth.
Astaroth's not going to win a major.
Yeah, he will. I believe in him.
You know how many times he has to guess correctly
Oh, that
for Astaroth will win a major?
That's true, and I feel like he might get dunked on by Party Wolf. So
Maybe
Oh,
they'll
Party
be-
Wolf's going? Well, then what are we even talking about?
I don't know.
Is there anybody going that could beat Party Wolf?
I don't know, but I have faith, man.
Idazan might be there.
I don't think Idazan is enough to beat Party Wolf, no.
Okay. Anyway, so on the 20th, I think, there's a supposed to be a 5v5 team tournament in Japan for Soul Calibur 5.
On when?
There's 10 people in Japan playing Soul Calibur?
At least.
I thought there was only like 3 or something.
Yeah.
I thought you had like Ruka, Tamonegi.
This game is.
Who else?
Decapod?
Decapon still plays?
I don't
I
know.
thought he was-
I'm just naming people.
Well, I think Ruka. Zach, you were there the year that Ruka showed up to NEC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that Decapon and like all those guys played League of Legends now. They don't play this game anymore.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they're showing up for this particular 5v5. I mean, I don't know who else.
Every once in a while, there's a
This
Japanese
guy-
stream of like online players.
Right,
If
that's
the
all I ever
online players showed up, that would be cool because those guys are pretty good.
Yeah, it's
There's that one Raphael player that shows up every once in a while. I can't remember his name, but he's really good.
But
What's
there's
his
a
name?
pure player that Zeph likes.
Eh,
What is his name? Chronica or something like that?
I couldn't tell you.
there's a Voldo player.
Oh yeah, it starts with an A or something.
They have some great costumes for Voldo.
Yoda Star. That's the Raphael player's name.
Yoda Star, okay.
Yoda Star. Yeah, he always has a horse face on.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
I guess it's just the fact that I've seen him beat like APAT players, Japanese APAT players with Raphael. I just don't see how you do that. Like that just seems really difficult to do. Nekuyogi, that the Ziva player. I like the online. I wish we got to see them more often. Mitsuhiro, the Cervantes player.
Oh, yeah, I remember him, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like Japanese players that you only see like on those online type things. I think there's like there's like 1 or 2 Devil Jin players who like actually play Devil Jin and like do okay. You know?
I've never seen a Japanese Devil Jin.
No?
No.
There was an Astaroth an Astaroth Japanese player that showed up on Party Wolf stream one time. He was crazy. And I remember his name. Like I remember seeing his name before in those tournaments. Unfortunately, I can't remember it now. Well, no. Because I've seen him in real life. Like this is the guy that I had only seen in those Japanese streams for Soul Calibur
Are you
online.
talking about the Astaroth player?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name. But yeah, really.
Party Wolf, if you're still listening to this, if you remember that guy's name, he did pretty well, but he was also kind of insane.
Yeah.
Like, he's definitely, one thing I will say is that it does not seem that the Japanese players, virtually in any game, I would say that they are shameless when it comes to taking advantage of, this is a 2 to 3 bar connection, and there's no way you're going to block this, even though, let's be honest, you probably would in a real situation.
What was he doing? Like 1A mix-ups?
Nah, I mean, not necessarily. It's difficult to explain. Maybe I'm just talking shit, but it just feels like when they play, they go a little bit crazy to the point where it's like, all right, well, if this was a real situation, you would have hanged yourself like 15 times, but I can't react quickly enough here, so you get to just do this stuff. Like, who's that one guy? Super Robot. Like that guy.
Yeah, okay.
Only not as insane.
Okay. Yeah, but what date was this exhibition for?
I think it's the 20th to the 21st. It's in the upcoming events thing in the competitive players group. I don't know if there will be a stream. They usually, if it is, it'll probably be on like Nico. And,
Ooh.
yeah, which...
Can we get rid of Nico? Nico has been the bane of my existence since its inception.
Like, there might be links to a stream somewhere around the website, but I can't read Japanese, and Google Translate only gets you so far. So
yeah. Nico is straight up a terrible, like, interface. It always has been.
There's usually like some links that just put you to the video, or some stream or some website has embedded the video.
But even so,
Like, I don't think I've ever watched anything on Nico itself.
Yeah, so you haven't actually seen like when they have like the chat going through the match.
No, I've never seen.
Yeah, well, sometimes you don't have a choice. That's the only thing that's going, and it's like when something crazy happens, then suddenly the entire video is filled up with text.
Wow.
That's right. Yeah, like Nico streams, their links expire like every 30 minutes.
Oh my god, yeah. Like,
So-
you have to figure out the next 15 button combinations to get to the next stream. Nico has been horrible since before YouTube. I have been watching fighting game videos since the start of the internet, and I hate them. I hate the stuff. I relish the day that Twitch was created, and I relish the day that YouTube was created.
Nice.
It changed everything. You guys don't know how lucky you
we
have.
don't know the struggle.
You don't. Back when you were watching Third Strike and MVC2 matches, where the best quality you could get were just these constant black bars going on the screen, and you just accepted it like this was just the way that you had to watch it. There's no other way short of watching it live.
Okay.
Oh man.
Nice.
I'm glad I wasn't around then because Third Strike was not fun for me to watch.
Soul Calibur 3 at SBO, one game, and then you're out. No losers
That
bracket.
was just dumb.
No
That's
best
the
two
first time I've
entries. No,
understood
that's
that.
just how Japanese tournaments
Yeah,
were
they
back then.
like to do first to one. Like,
Japanese tournaments are spawned out of the arcade, which is different than America. America was spawned out of like consoles, and so arcade stuff is you lose one game and that is it, and that's how it started.
well, they also like for some of their tournaments, they have a lot more people show up than like you would at an American tournament, so they can't really. Not
Well, this
do-
is true, but also it's really stupid when an American shows up, like travels all the way to Japan,
yeah for
loses one
for-
game and he's out.
Yeah.
Like.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it like I appreciate the fact that SBO has not gotten is no longer as big as Evo, and they've Japanese tournaments have kind of done away for the most part have done away with the one game you're out type of thing. I appreciate the tradition it upheld, but at the same time it's really outdated. You can't do that sort of thing when fighting games are on this type of scale.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
JD, you also hate Ustream.
Damn.
I don't hate Ustream anywhere near as much as Nico.
Okay.
There are
Ustream-
I don't
Does that
believe there
even
are
exist?
any. Yeah, Ustream still works. Ustream is still a thing.
Oh no, that used to be Justin TV. That's right. Okay.
Oh well, yeah, Justin TV is no longer a thing.
That's the one
Like
that's right.
Yeah, Twitch was originally an offshoot of Justin TV, and then it just grew so massive that Justin TV became irrelevant.
Okay.
It's unfortunate. I wish there were more streaming sites. This is just kind of an offhand thing, but I wish there were more streaming sites for stuff that weren't about fighting games. Like, it used to be stuff that you could just, like, I remember, man, there was a stream that would only show episodes of things like Are You Afraid of the Dark? And Nick Arcade, and all kinds of cool stuff. And I'm like, oh my god.
Nick Arcade was so bad.
Yeah, it was.
It was so bad.
Wait, Melissa Joan Hart
my God.
can't understand the concept of the loop-de-loop in Sonic 1. Like, just constantly just going, like,
You know-
off the ramp, and then at the same time not doing it. Like, it was great.
You know it's bad when your objective is to get 30 rings.
Yeah.
Like, that is the objective when you win the game.
Legends of the Hidden Temple with the best,
Legends.
with the best host in the entire world, Kirk Fogg. Oh my god. Kirk Fogg is the best.
Oh, man. I don't... Wow, there was actually streams of Legends of the Hidden Temple. That's pretty
Blue
cool.
Monkey.
Yeah, dude. That's how great the world
Rest in
is.
peace, TV.
Yeah. You can still find it, like, people have, like, just their own streams where they'll do type of, that kind of stuff, but you need to have those specific links. It's not like before where you could just go on Justin TV and browse, you know?
Right. Right.
Oh my god, what was this one? There was one that, like, would show an episode of Justice League and then show an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Hakusho, and I stayed up until, like, 6 in the morning watching that. I was in heaven. It's like the best night of my life. Oh, Oh, I'm a nerd. I don't know if you guys knew that. It's just,
No, I
this is the
couldn't.
kind of
Oh,
stuff I
really?
say.
Is that what it is?
I couldn't tell.
That's what it is.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh, man. Well, I think I'm the only one here out of the group who did not see.
Oh my god.
What did I miss? What, did something happen?
What? No.
Oh. Okay.
okay. Oh.
there's-
Yeah, I was just
wait.
saying that I think I'm the only one here out of the group that did not see Street Fighter's top 8.
What? Why not?
I just didn't get around to seeing it.
There's still time.
Right.
What? There is.
What the hell? Oh, you got... Okay.
What? What happened?
On the stream video again. Cool C's running amok.
Oh shit! It's Olmec. He's gonna tell us about the ancient ballerina shoes of
Gonna give us a 15-minute
Azerbaijan or
story.
some shit.
Gonna give us a 15-minute story that we're supposed to remember. And
Yeah.
I like that he would tell
I
us
don't know about King Henry XIV and his wife's ballerina shoes or whatever.
he would tell a
Just
story like that's not true at all, like about
man.
some random person.
They were sometimes true. They were mostly not true.
Okay.
Dude, you guys gotta look up, anybody who, like, you guys gotta look up the fastest Legends of the Hidden Temple guide. This guy went through literally every room in, like, 15 seconds. Like, I don't mean 15 seconds apiece, I mean he went through the entire thing in 15 seconds. It was crazy. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere.
yeah, probably.
Can we stop the charade of, like, this is like a Soul Calibur cast? Can this finally become what it was supposed to be, which is a Legends of the Hidden Temple cast?
Sure.
I don't know. I think it took us this long to even figure out that that was what it was.
Well, I mean, it takes people a long time to recognize who they really are, but doesn't mean that you should deny yourself.
Oh, man.
Okay. So, as much as I would like to talk about Legends of the Hidden Temple,
Yeah.
for the
As
rest
much as I would like to talk about Legends of the Hidden Temple, let's totally do that.
let's not.
Why not?
Okay, so this topic came up on Ultrition, which is
$20 billion says this isn't as interesting as Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah.
is anything really?
No, that's my whole point.
And
Can't give the people too much, so...
if you don't know what Ultrition is, it's kind of like a podcast, but it's more based on Capcom-based games and that.
Yeah,
community.
Ultra David, James Chen.
Yeah, and so they talked about how the Smash player Anti was talking on Twitter about how people are paying for fighting game lessons in order to get better, and he didn't really think that was something you should do. It wasn't like a big blow up, but it was something they talked about, and I think it'd be cool to talk about it too. So
who was the one complaining?
Anti.
Oh, Anti was saying you shouldn't pay people to coach you in fighting games?
Yeah, or like to teach you how to get better, like.
Okay.
I mean, this is
like a personal trainer kind of thing,
Yeah.
only with fighting games.
Yeah.
All right.
This isn't a new concept.
No.
Ken was doing this back when Melee was first getting an MLG back in like 05. Like, you know, if somebody wants to give you money for a thing, I don't see what the big deal is. People do that for Hearthstone. People do that for League of Legends. People do that for Dota. Like, you know, if it's a service, it's something that you can get somebody to help train you. So, what's the big deal? What am I missing about this?
Well, what was Anti's argument though? Like, what was he saying was wrong with paying somebody to help you get better,
I think
as opposed to them doing it for free?
he thinks like you. This isn't something you should be doing for money, and you really shouldn't be bringing money into it, I guess.
So he was mad.
Heaven forbid money gets brought into something. Oh no!
I mean, I don't really care if people do it either. I just wanted to see what you
Like,
guys.
there's a difference. Like, should people do it? No, I would never recommend to somebody that they should pay to, like, somebody to get better, because you can get better just by playing. Like, unless you're a straight-up moron, you can get better just from, like, getting part of the community. But if you want to pay to be part of it, it is your right as an American.
Well, wait, are we getting it right? Is he mad at the person who paid, or is he mad at the person who's charging?
I think he's mad at the idea of doing it, so I guess both of them. I don't really know. Well,
no, because it's different. If we're talking about somebody who chooses to spend their money that way, then there's no argument. But if we're talking about somebody who's saying,
he's talking about the person,
I'll teach you if you pay me, then, I mean, it's not, I'm not saying that he's got a point, but it's a little bit easier to argue that than somebody who just wants to pay.
He's probably talking about the second one. I would.
Probably.
Saying it's bad either way is stupid. If people want to do it, then they should be able to do it. You know.
I mean, yeah.
But at the same time, if anybody's thinking to themselves, should I pay this one guy to get better at this fighting game, nobody ever actually needs that. Like, if there's a scene for it, then you can just, you know, fighting games have not gotten Hollywood enough to where that's, like, a big thing. I would say that no competitive e-sport has gotten to the point where it's like, you can't... That was always one of my favorite things about fighting games. I remember... do you guys happen to remember the documentary that came out like way back in the beginning of Street Fighter 4 called I Got Next?
Yeah, I heard of it. I didn't actually see it, though.
Gutex says something that that I really like, where he said that one of his favorite things about fighting games is, so if I really wanted to get good at basketball, right, at this point in my life, it's basically impossible. Like, I can't just call up Kobe Bryant and say, hey, Kobe Bryant, you and me one-on-one. Like, that's absurd. That would never happen. You can totally do that. In fact, it's the norm in fighting games. It doesn't take anything to go up and play Justin Wong or whomever in a fighting game. If you just go to a tournament that they're at, then you'll get to play them, you know? Takes what, like $5, you know? There was that Smash documentary that came out a little while ago. One of the best Melee players of all time, Korean DJ, got very good by setting up at a station and saying, hey, this is one of the guys that I've seen on stream before. I'll play you in a $5 money match. He loses that one. Okay, I'll play this guy in a $5 money match. And he did that for, like, over and over and over again until he became one of the best smashers. So it's not necessary to straight up get a coach just to get to the next level.
No.
I believe that, to be honest, if you can't figure it out on your own, then I have a tough time believing that there's somebody that can help you out outside of yourself.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but...
Well, so much of it is in the moment. Like, so much of it is reaction-based. It's not like actually teaching somebody, like, a skill like math or something like that, where you can sit down and think about it. Like, a lot of the stuff that happens in fighting games happens in a matter of less than a second.
Right, but you can learn things like what moves to place where, as opposed to...
You can learn that from streams and stuff.
Well, yeah, you can. Right. But in this case, this guy wants, you know, whoever it is that he's paying to train him. But Alex J said a few posts back, which is what I thought the argument was about, was that he thought maybe the people who were training them and charging were exploiting the newer players for a service that they could probably get somewhere else for free. So it's kind of like, you know, well, hey, I'll train you, and if I do that, then you pay me such and such amount or whatever. And it's kind of like, these new guys aren't really that familiar with people in the community, so they're more likely to be, I mean, unless they're coming in at, like, a mature age, they're likely to be impressionable in that sense and just go with what they think they need to do. Which, if that's the case, that is kind of, all right, if they're going in with the mindset of let me just take as much as I can from these new players, then that's kind of fucked up. But at the same time, you know, the new players could, as you said, learn from watching streams, from just playing. From
that's still on the new players. The like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is the information age. The idea where you cannot get information as to whether or not you're getting scammed out of money or something like that. Those days are gone. Like, you can't, like, if you're going to get taken advantage of in that way, it's really kind of on you. I don't really care how old or young you are at this point.
Right. But I'm just saying, I think that was more of the argument, because otherwise I don't see what point he has.
I can understand that argument to a certain degree, but at the same time, it doesn't seem important enough. Well, I guess that's what makes this guy and me two different people. I don't see why it's important enough to talk about.
Okay. Well, we won't talk about it anymore.
Oh, no, I mean, like, from his perspective. I don't know why he would just come out of the blue to talk about
why
it.
argue about it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Maybe Olmec told him to do it.
Maybe.
Was anybody, like, on Antai's side, or was he just, like, alone in this?
I have no idea.
Oh, I thought you saw the whatever happened.
Oh, wait, I listened to them talking about it on Ultragen. I didn't go researching for Twitter feeds, like...
Okay. I thought maybe they had brought up if, like, people were siding with him in any way, or... Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure people were trying to do that in, like, the Soul 4 days for Caliber. They were... I don't know if anyone actually did that, but I know people had talked about it before.
People do that for literally any skill ever.
Right, but, I mean, in regards to just fighting games, the first time I heard of it was Soul Calibur 4.
Oh, the first time I heard about it was, like, I was still in high school, you know. People did it for Melee, people have done it for Street Fighter, I'm sure, people have done it for Marvel, I'm sure, people have done it for poker, people have done it for any gaming thing ever.
Right. Yeah, but, I mean, you were watching fighting games long before you started playing them competitively. Like, I didn't know about the scene at all until I started. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty great. What were you getting at? I thought that's what we were...
Well, hey, take it. That's what it was.
I have taken them.
Hey McGee, I'll pay you $5 if you play me.
You'd have to go to a tournament first.
Oh shit.
Alright, fine. That's a fair shot, fine. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I don't waste my time with online warriors.
Oh!
Yes?
Who is it?
So, man.
I'm like, I don't know whose door that was, so.
Ricky, probably.
Oh
my god, they have the fucking... This gif he has now of it talking.
Oh my god.
Have you guys seen...
This thing's terrifying.
Have you guys seen Kirk Fogg's Twitter?
No.
You guys should look it up, because I'm 100% sure it's not actually him, and it's hilarious.
How do you spell it?
Kirk Fogg. Kirkfogg.
Oh, okay, 2 G's. Alright.
Yes.
Alright, I'll look that up later.
I'm going to pretend I'm typing. That
is a good. I never knew, where did the food money match come from? Like, what was that? Like, was that just two people who wanted to money match or play for something and just didn't have money, and then they decided, all right, will you buy me dinner?
I mean,
because I remember people from France coming over saying that, like, they would have a food money match with people.
well, I think really, like, for some people, like, they know what they're going to spend it on if they win anyway, so you might as well just go directly to the store. Like,
yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, because if you win like a $20 money match and you just go eat right after, it's like, all right.
And I also guess maybe if you're, coming in from another country, you don't really want to have to exchange more money, possibly, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, in that case, I would just not do a money match, but, I mean, I get it if the money's going right there anyway, so, all right.
In 2012, Kirk Fogg tweeted, was just accosted by a security guard at Best Buy for wandering suspiciously. He didn't even want my pennant of life.
What the fuck? Alright. Okay. Okay, well.
Went on a quest with the broken wing of Icarus. Came back with hepatitis. Life's a journey. This guy's the best.
Okay.
Okay. And this guy is who? Like,
This is the Legends of the Hidden Temple host.
oh, the host. Okay.
Yeah, man.
It's Kirk Fox.
Yeah.
The best game show ever.
Yeah. I prefer Guts.
Well, there's stupid people everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
They all love Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh my God! Speaking of Guts, you should look up the worst players of Guts. Because
I'm
some of
pretty
them
sure I've
are
seen it, to be honest.
straight up miserable. Basically,
It's
anytime
been
they
a
took
while.
a black kid into a pool, it was terrible.
I
They
mean,
just didn't understand how to deal with water.
that's a shame, actually. That does
I mean,
have
I know it's a
nothing
stereotype, but
yeah.
it is true. Like, they
Ah,
fell
man.
apart.
Jesus.
Great at the jumping thing. Pretty bad at the pool.
Click. Okay, does anyone have anything else they want to talk about?
There's
No.
got to be another Nickelodeon game show I can talk about.
Nah, I think we're good because we really just had the one big Winter Brawl thing.
Right.
Now, unless there's any Street Fighter things that stood out because I missed it.
Oh, we can talk about if Street Fighter has no content.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, basically that's anything
there?
not involving the gameplay is pretty terrible about Street Fighter right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually a thing where like one player controls all the menu functions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't. They don't. I don't understand why, because they had the rematch screen in Street Fighter 4 where you could just go,
Yeah, it makes no sense.
and only player one can go to the character select menu.
Right. So like, I'm just like, how does that happen? Like, how do you get the game out, and that's not something that people have noticed? Because I'm sure that was right away when people played it.
Yeah.
To me, the thing that bothers me the most are the loading times.
Loading. It does seem
Just,
like
just to do stuff that's not involving online whatsoever, just going into versus mode, changing a character or whatever. I've played like 2 or 3 times Street Fighter V so far, and both times I ended up playing this character for like an extended set, despite the fact that I didn't really want to, just because I didn't want to take the time to go to the character select screen and everything. And then the person I'm playing with switches, and I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? We are
Oh wow.
going to be here
Yeah.
forever.
I find the online's a lot better now. Like the first week, it was like you would disconnect every 30 minutes, or probably more often than that. And you can't unlock any.
Mine's bad too.
It was at first. Like now, it's a little bit
Oh,
better.
wow.
They have rollback netcode, so if it's not like a 5-bar, then your opponent just teleports across the screen.
Oh, okay.
And even
Yeah,
if
that's
they're
what Combat's trying now too.
And even if there's
Rollback.
like slight lag, people do the shimmy where you walk back and forth.
Right.
You can't tell what they're doing, so it just looks like they're having a seizure. Like,
Oh man. Wow, man. Like that's like as much as people have been anticipating the game, and I know that like the tournament players are satisfied with at least that part of it, but like come on, man. Like
Yeah,
how
the
do you-
gameplay itself seems great, but it's just straightly an incomplete game.
Right.
And us in the,
like,
and us in the Soul Calibur 5 community are very apprehensive with an incomplete game.
yeah. But at least with Soul Calibur, like the parts that were finished were done. Like there weren't
Yeah.
like, well, we have to have DLC to unlock the last half of story mode, or like, you play Legendary Souls, and after you beat Cervantes, you have to wait for a month. Like,
man, the story mode looks like they were like, oh, the game's coming out in 2 weeks. Hey Jeff, can you draw some?
Yeah, exactly.
dude, Street Fighter story has been awful anyway. Like,
No, it
we
isn't. What are you talking about?
Get the fuck. What?
No, what? No. First of all, stop cussing.
The story
And-
mode is so bad.
No, it isn't.
All right.
The storyline in Street Fighter is great.
What's the storyline, Jake? Can you tell me?
You can,
What's
but
up?
it's like,
Can you tell me what the storyline is?
The entire thing?
Yeah, give me
Give me a character, and I'll tell you what happened to them.
Bison.
He died. It was one of the best. It was seriously one of the best deaths ever.
Sagat.
Gaia was there. Chun-Li was there. They're all fighting Bison at the same time, and Bison's still destroying. And then Ryu shows up, and he's like especially great now because he has the Denjin. and they think they're finally going to beat him, and they're like 5-on-1 and everything, and Bison is still wrecking shit until eventually he's just like, I am the strongest fighter in the entire world, and he's like in the middle of that, and Akuma comes up right behind him, does the Raging Demon, and Bison is dead. And Bison is dead right from there.
Rashid literally walks up to Ryu and goes, "Hey, you look strong. Let's fight."
Rapido.
Really?
I mean, look, I
Wait,
know
you're
that fighting
you're
games...
talking about like character intros?
No, not the intros, the story mode. When you play as the character and they go through their little,
Hey,
like,
you
this
look,
is why they're fighting, they're
Street
fighting.
Fighter 5 isn't canon to Street Fighter storyline.
Oh,
But,
hey.
like, I know fighting games don't have the greatest of plots in general, but, I mean, at least with Tekken, we know there's a competition. We know why people are fighting.
There's a Street Fighter
Kombat is-
tournament.
Not here, apparently.
Street Fighter 5 isn't canon. So it
Well,
doesn't count.
hey McGee, you look tough. Let's fight.
If Bison's still alive, then it's not canon.
I don't know what McGee you're looking at. I definitely do not look tough. Like,
But that was the original Street Fighter. It was Ryu versus Sagat. It was the finals of the Street Fighter tournament.
yeah.
So it's the same thing.
No, there's like 2 Street Fighter games where they're just like randomly wandering around and start fighting. Like,
Well, that's because
Isn't that-
drugs.
isn't that the
and
plot in
Bison.
Alpha? Like, they're just randomly fighting people.
It depends on the character.
oh my god, man.
I like
Dudley's fighting people because his car got stolen.
I like that in Third Strike, Oro doesn't even show up for the tournament. Like, he's just...
Oh no, because it would be a waste of time for him. Oro is by far like one of the strongest Street Fighter characters in history.
Who is?
Oro. Do you play
well,
Third
yeah.
Strike at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little hermit guy.
Yeah.
Like, by the time of like Third Strike storyline, Ryu is getting to the point where he can actually like fight Akuma. He has like the Denjin, he has like all kinds of like special moves and everything like that. Oro annihilates him quite literally with one arm tied behind his back. Like he just decides, wow, these people are getting like pretty strong, but I can't use both arms. So
Yeah, he fights with one arm. Like,
Yes.
at first I thought he was like missing an arm, and then
no, he just sealed his own arm and decides to fight. He even fights Gil, and Gil is not even a Street Fighter. He's like a straight up supervillain, like that would work in the Marvel universe. And he's like, yeah, I guess this guy's pretty strong, I guess.
oh, maybe that'll be his
Well-
V trigger. He'll use both arms.
Oh shit.
Wouldn't that be funny, yeah?
No, it wouldn't, because the game would be over. The game would crash, your PS4 would shut down.
It restarts the system. If you
Yes.
activate Oro V trigger. Okay.
Well,
Nice.
okay.
Alright,
Shoutouts to L.I. Joe for winning.
yeah.
Yo, L.I. Joe, the best.
Yeah, I haven't seen... he seems to be one of those guys that's very good at learning games when they
At the
first come
beginning,
out.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they did the same thing as Street Fighter.
KDZ. The
Yeah,
KDZ.
KDZ.
Street Fighter.
Oh, KDZ.
I think there were Arturo and F-Champ were in top 8 for Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, Arturo's got to be happy.
Young
with the ultimate.
Young Art.
Yes, Sim is looking insane in this game.
Man, they just straight up made Sim an anime character, didn't they? Like,
I'm
Pretty
fine.
much, yeah.
I like the idea of the same characters not being, just as powerful as they were in Street Fighter 4. I like a little bit of diversity. Last time I can remember Sim being good would be Street Fighter 2.
Too, yeah.
So it's been a while.
was he not?
Then again, that was the last game he was in. Like, what was he in after 2?
It was an
Well,
alpha.
he was in
wasn't it?
Alpha 3?
Yeah, I think right.
Not to mention he was in the Marvel games.
I've heard he's actually.
Oh, well, okay, yeah.
He's
I guess,
actually good in Marvel 2, but the execution, the plan is too
Nobody is good in Marvel 2 except for the ones that we all know.
much. The 5 characters.
Yeah, like that game is ridiculously imbalanced.
Marvel, baby.
Marvel.
You guys want to talk about the Street Fighter storyline some more?
Sure.
Wait, really?
No.
I think we've covered that, I think.
Oh, no, we haven't.
Covered it and hopefully buried it.
JJ, you look tough. Let us fight.
JJ doesn't look tough.
I can't think of anybody who looks less tough.
Link, yes,
the
he
beard.
was in the beginning of 4.
It's the beard.
What's that?
You
What were you saying, Zach?
I was telling Link that yes, KDZ was pretty good at the beginning of 4.
Oh, yeah, he was very good in Soul Calibur 4 and in the previous games. In Soul Calibur 4, he got, it was second at EVO, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got second at EVO.
Yeah. That's not easy. Not to mention he also won Injustice. So he's a pretty good fighting game player in general.
Well, he was asking specifically if he was good at Soul Calibur.
Yeah, Soul Calibur he was. In 5...
5 he didn't stick around. But
He was alright, but yeah. The problem with KDZ is that he never sticks around into a game long enough. And he just, like, loses his attention span. And he's not the kind of guy who can, like, play a whole bunch of games and be good at all of them. The second that he starts playing a new game, he immediately becomes really bad at the game he was before.
I mean, I don't know how big the fall off is, but it's like you would imagine that kind of happens to most people when you start
some people
switch your primary game to a different game.
Yeah, but I look at Sonic Fox. Like Sonic Fox plays like a bajillion games, and
yeah, but how many people are like that? Like, how many Sonic Fox type players are there?
None.
Or Justin Wong type players, or like, you know, Chris G.
Oh, so sounds like we've named at least a handful.
3.
Tokido.
Okay, well, how about Taquito? We can name Taquito.
Fudo.
Oh yeah, Fudo.
But still not that many. Like, that's not the everyday fighting game player that goes to a different game and maintains their same skill.
KDZ isn't part of that everyday group either, I guess.
No, I wouldn't say he is.
Okay.
You were absolutely disgusting.
Who is?
If you, I'm looking at this Donald Trump tweet, the FGC Trump.
FGC Trump. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you should definitely pick a top tier.
Yeah. I think the term waifu might be the most irritating term for me recently.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. It's just something about it just seems so, like, pretentious.
What about husbando? Does that term annoy you?
I don't hear it enough, and it just sounds funny.
Does that trigger you?
Like, no, like, husbando's, like, I don't hear it enough. It sounds like they're trying that hard, like, to add an extra syllable.
Man. Street Fighter storyline is really good.
It is.
Can we not? Can we not? It's a storyline.
Man, what I like in Street Fighter, dude, is like Ryu hits Sagat with such a mean uppercut that it tears like his chest apart.
Do you guys know how Charlie died?
He got shot by a helicopter.
No.
Rib Charlie.
No, he fell into a volcano.
Oh!
That's actually what happened.
The most anime death ever.
That's amazing. Come on, you have to admit. That's great.
No, that's not canon. In Street Fighter 5, he gets shot by the helicopter.
Street Fighter 5 is not canon. Bison is alive.
Bison is eternal. He just gets a new body.
No, he actually died.
But is his body an iron body?
You
That's
can't kill Psycho Power.
You can kill Bison, though. Bison and Psycho Power are not synonymous. He is not one with Psycho Power entirely. It depends on what level of, hey, you guys probably don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
but depending on which game you're talking about, he's either at 50% power, like 75% power, and yada yada.
I like that they turned Geef into like a gym bro in this game.
Dude. What was that?
That's a character I expect to be really good.
What was like Geef's...
Zangief sucks storyline.
Zangief is a great man.
Zangief just wrestles bears.
Wrestling bears is pretty hard.
Yeah, but it's not as hard as what some other characters in the game
I
can
mean,
do.
wrestle bears or throw fireballs. You know?
Oh, they should give them projectile bears.
Zangief is like...
I knew that's where you were going to go with it, and it was just like it was a matter of time before.
Zangief is probably the worst out of the Shadowloo people.
Zangief isn't Shadowloo, is he?
Well, he used to be. Sort of.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine.
He wasn't one of the main guys, but he was, like, on the payroll.
Okay.
Bison is VDW when he loses at 50%. Yeah.
And I have that one character in Tekken 7 who like throws tigers at you.
I mean, you can't say that, or you might like copyright flag our YouTube video for just mentioning his name.
Rest in peace, Link Horse.
Such bullshit.
I can't believe he copyrighted that. Like, oh man. That's how stupid YouTube's copyright system is. You can just claim anything.
Hashtag, where's the fair use?
Where's the fair use?
Yeah, where's the fair use? Yeah.
That's amazing.
You guys know about those reactions, right?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. They lost over 1 million subscribers. That's insane.
That's hysterical. I love it.
I don't
like. They're still more than fine. I think they still have like 6 million. But it's like, you know how long it takes to get 1 million subscribers on YouTube? That takes like years.
Do you know how long it takes to lose 1 million? 3 days.
Like 2 weeks or a month.
I just like how are you able to copyright a word? Like, I'm gonna
that you didn't have control of in the first place.
Like, reaction videos aren't a new thing. Like, they were around.
They've been around since like the 1950s.
Yeah, long before the Fine
Anybody
Bros.
remember that Bill Cosby show, the Kids Say the Darndest Things thing?
Yeah.
Basically the same thing. And that was like a remake of a show before that.
Are we allowed to talk about Bill Cosby? I don't.
We're allowed to talk about him, sure.
Okay. Don't want to get sued.
I mean, I we could talk about him not on the cast.
Wait, what's gonna happen?
You don't want this to be the Cosby cast?
Why not?
The Cosby cast. Oh man.
It's pretty,
I think we're
pretty
back
top.
Yeah.
Jay, Link asked this earlier. Do you plan on doing any Edge of the Samurai videos for WinterBrawl?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Any that anybody wants. I just haven't gotten finished with the NEC ones. I have 4 more of those to do, 4 or 3. And then I'll ask anybody who has recommendations for WinterBrawl ones. I specifically wanted the match that I had with Ninja Guy. I'm not sure if I'll actually do that or not. But I specifically had it recorded so that I could have it for a future video. Other than that, you know.
Well, yeah. I definitely want my match with Ninja Guy at some point.
That's what I said. I had the Samurai. Okay.
Alright. So we good?
Thank you for watching Spectator Cast number 17, Legends of the Hidden Temple.